Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Heimir, first of all, obviously Josh Cullen is going to miss the games through suspension. So, how are you planning to populate your midfield?
Well, we normally rotate players when we are drilling in the approach to the Portugal game. So we have done that. We have also called in Conor Coventry, who plays the holding midfield role for Charlton. Has been doing that quite well this season. So we have options to replace him.
The result obviously disappointing, but the performance was a lot better. Are you considering keeping that shape?
Yeah, obviously we're not gonna tell you here how we're gonna play, but obviously this was good. One of the options probably even felt better for the players than usually when we change formation. So maybe a good question for Nathan to talk about how he felt in the game. But we felt comfortable defending. But like I said, after the game, we need to improve the in possession part.
Jill, please.
Hi, Heimir. Obviously, a painful defeat on Saturday. How has the mood been since the game at the camp?
Well, I think we are all sharing the same feeling. We worked so hard to be in that position, to have a point against Portugal. Would have changed the mood to have a point. But listen, we've all been there before. We know what to do. We need to switch our focus to Armenia and leave everything else behind. We can take some of the positives from that match, but obviously everybody is down. But it's all professionals. They switch now attention to the next task. They do that every day.
And obviously, talking about Armenia, it is a must-win. How confident are you that you'll get the performance that you need?
Well, I've always been honest with you. I believe in this team. I think this team has everything to qualify for the World Cup. We are not maybe the favourites in the group at the moment, but a win tomorrow would change that. And I believe that we are gonna do that. Maybe finishing on, if you have seen the last game from Armenia where they went to Hungary, we know that this is a good team. And Hungary was lucky to go away with the win, even at 1-0. Armenia had lots of good opportunities to punish, and it's just a good team. So never ever anyone here underestimate Armenia.
Damien Spellman, please.
Heimir, as Tony said, you were disappointed with the result of the performance on Saturday night. Tomorrow night, is it the result that matters regardless of the performance?
Yeah. Result is the only thing that matters tomorrow, is the end result. However we do it, I would play a shitty game and win 1-0. This is a result game, 100%.
And Nathan, can I ask you, we all saw what Seamus Coleman brings on the pitch the other night. What does he bring off the pitch?
Really the same as what he does on the pitch, his character, his way of talking to people on a personal level, his experience of what he's done in the game and what he's done for Ireland. It's great to have someone like that back in the camp, even with Johnny Egan as well. Just to have conversations with them is always nice, and they give a nice buzz around the camp when they're back in.
Gavin Cooney, please.
Heimir, you took ahead of the Portugal game over trains, in which the team would have been playing a lot better in the first game in a window second. What are you doing differently as regards preparation and/or team selection to change that trend?
Yeah, so first of all, it's the load control. So I accept the question. I've said it myself. This has been a trend, playing worse in the second game. And we as coaches want to find, whatever we can do to change it. So the load from and recovery from game 1 to game 2, that's one thing that we've been focusing on. It's another thing, rotation of players. So we managed to do substitutions last game. It was a tough game. So we managed to do substitutions maybe earlier than we would have, knowing this fact. But then again, just switching the players on. So mentally, if it's a mental thing, we switch the players on early, switch the focus to Armenia, that's the things we can do, and then it's down to player selection on the day. It is someone that is fresh, better tomorrow than someone that played a game 3 days ago. That's what we can manage, but then it's just down to the players.
And what do you take from the game away to Armenia that can benefit you tomorrow?
Well, if we look at the game against Portugal and compare that to the game against Armenia, I thought collectively versus individually, I think that's the biggest thing. We were just way too open defensively, and in attack we never could string together 4 or 5 passes in Armenia. What the reason for that is, like I said before, I'm saying the same things again and again, whether it was the pitch, the heat, the travel, the second game, or the individuals, we never know. So just knowing the fact that this team is only won with collective work, whether it's in attack or defense. So taking that from Portugal, how we beat Armenia is collective.
Eddie, please.
Heimir, as you said, the only thing that matters at the end of the game is the result. But how important is it to start well, start fast tomorrow night in this game?
Start in the correct way, start solid, united like we did in Portugal. Now thinking again to the game, when we played in Portugal, we knew once Portugal didn't score, they would open up, they would be frustrated, and you saw that in their body language. They got more and more frustrated. Now we flip that psychology. We need to win the game, and we cannot lose our focus in the beginning because we know the fact that we need to win the game. So we need to be smart, have game management throughout the game. The goal can come on the 90th, 91st minute, like in Portugal, but just keep on going. Don't go individual. Stay collective, both in attack and in defence.
And Armenia, obviously, I'd say, grew in confidence in the last game. I imagine they will take that confidence here, that they think they're going to come here and get something. What's your thoughts on that, and how can you take that confidence away from them, I suppose?
If you think them, not only about, let's focus away from us. They have 3 points. They can go 6 points with a win. So it's equally as important match for them. This is their chance to go to the World Cup or win here. So how they see this game is probably the same way as us. It's a must-win game for them. So little different there.
Thank you.
Heimir, just on the game on Saturday, I suppose that was the bare minimum from an Irish fan's perspective, that kind of performance was put in. Is the game tomorrow arguably more pressure because you're expected to win the game?
Yeah, and I think we realise it's going to be a big pressure on us tomorrow. We just need to accept that. That reality is going to be a pressure on us to win the game. But I'm again saying, doesn't need to happen first minute. We need to be smart against this team. If we are not smart, they can punish us like they did in Armenia.
And just from a centre half perspective, how important is it that you kind of keep everybody calm, and that patience is kind of required throughout the whole team, and in a very much a different type of game than what it will be on was on Saturday?
Yeah, football's a weird game, and momentum shifts can change the whole game really. So if there's spells where they have a good bit of ball and have a bit of momentum, we have to stay in our shape and make it hard for them, and set little traps, put them into places like we did with Portugal where they don't want to go, and then we have so much pace where we can counter-attack from that. And then at the same time, when we have the ball, getting a high and wide into our wingers' feet, getting them 1v1s, creating chances from that. But of course, being solid and starting from the back really is how we win the game. If we don't concede, we give ourselves a great chance.
One question of the live.
Mark said one good see Nathan. Just Portugal, obviously, a restoration of pride in the journey despite the defeat. Do you sense as a squad, as a unit of players, it has also restored belief, because confidence post-Armenia was at an all-time low?
Yeah, and I think that was a big message during the week. It was belief that we can go to Portugal and get a result. Belief that we can go there and put in a good performance. Belief that we are a good team with good players that can create stuff and we can hurt teams in our own way. And I think for the message we wanted and what we put out, I think it all come together really nicely. And I think it can help us in confidence. But again, it's going to be a different game, and we still have to have that inner belief that we can go and dominate and hurt and score goals against Armenia.
Do you feel more exposed, more vulnerable in an international jersey? And I ask that in the context of Seamus pointing up that the jersey's heavy and the Shuki Hervey and Heimir pointing up that in international football, sometimes some players might find that difficulty in stepping up because I guess you're more under the spotlight. Do you sense that as a player, the transition between club and country?
No, not necessarily. Listen, playing for Ireland is one of the biggest honours, and it's not easy at all because there's every kid growing up wants to play for Ireland. But international, I feel like it's a bit of a different game to club football because there's so much more time to prepare for a game, and there's big gaps in between, and there's a lot of tactical going on where games at club football come thick and fast and they come quick. So it's a different game, but the pressure to play for Ireland is a privilege. The pressure of putting that green jersey on is something you always wanted, and it's something I'll never take for granted.